Hi there, and welcome back to the science course. We are on page 67 of the student work text, and if you are following along with me in the textbook, there is a whole section on the human body beginning on page 139 and ending on, I'm supposed to already have this done, 143. And there are practice tests and reading materials. This is a very good book to follow. This is just a supplement to that book. But if you like to read more, that's a good place to look. Okay, we're starting off with a morpheme. That is circ. The circulatory system is a system in the human body that transports. There's another morpheme that I think we already have. Trans is across. Port is to move. So to move across. Materials. And by materials, I want you to think of blood. Blood has a lot of stuff in it. So if we think of just blood, we're going to cover everything. So the circulatory system is your heart and your blood vessels that transports that blood to your whole body. Your digestive system is the system that breaks down food. So the body can absorb the nutrients. Endocrine system, and let me sound this one out for you. Endocrine. The endocrine system is the system of glands in your body that regulate your body conditions. You have glands that regulate your temperature, your body temperature, your chemistry, your hormones, even your heart and brain function. So your body is controlled by chemicals, and these glands in the endocrine system help to regulate those chemicals. And speaking of chemicals, we have to talk about enzymes. Enzymes are proteins that speed up chemical reactions. So when let's say you swallow a mouthful of food, or let's say that you swallow a whole plate full of food, your body needs to digest that food. So it releases those proteins, those enzymes, to speed up that digestion. And that's controlled by the endocrine system. The next word is esophagus, and it does have a morpheme. Esophagus is the muscular tube that carries food from mouth to stomach. So when you swallow food, it is passing through your esophagus. And phage, P-H-A-G, means to eat or to devour. So we'll add that to our list in just a minute. Excretory system is the system that removes metabolic waste. Your kidneys, your bladder, your intestines removes the food and liquid waste from your body. Metabolic is the next word. But think of, when you see metabolic or metabolism, think of eating and burning up energy. Metabolism. I think we've already done this one in another chapter, but it's okay. Chemical reactions. In cells that carry on life processes. I think we saw this with plants, and it's the same concept. Your muscular system. And you might be thinking, well, that's my muscles, and that's exactly right. It is the system that is responsible for movement. So without your muscles, you would not be able to move. The nervous system, this is your system of nerves, regulates and responds to conditions outside the body. If you lay your hand on a hot stove, that's a condition outside the body. And the nervous system triggers a reflex that will cause your muscles to move and draw your hand away. Nutrition. Probably associate that with eating, but it is the process by which living things get and process nutrients. And nutrients are the things that your body needs to survive. Minerals, fats, carbohydrates, nutrients. The respiratory system. This is your lungs. Controls the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide for breathing. Your heart is involved in this also. If you are taking my reading course, there is a really good article on the heart. It explains how the heart works as a sequence exercise. So if you're doing that, you will see this explained in detail. Okay, moving on to the next thing. We have the sense organs, and those are, there are 5 of them: the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and the skin. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling are the 5 senses. The skeletal system is the system of bones that move, support, and protect the body. Anywhere you have a very large or strong bone, underneath it will be a very important organ. You think about your skull, underneath it is your brain, your rib cage, your breastbone. Under there is your heart and your lungs. Your femur in your thigh is protecting a major artery and also helping you to move. So anywhere in your body there is a thick bone, there's an important organ nearby. Urine is liquid made up of metabolic waste. When you drink a glass of milk, your digestion takes out the nutrients, the calcium and the vitamin D, the water that you need, and then the rest of that fluid is passed through your kidneys and your bladder and out of your body as urine. So every time you have to pee, you are getting rid of liquid metabolic waste. Your voluntary muscles are under conscious control. Involuntary means you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think to make your heart beat. It is going to beat whether you're thinking about it or not. Voluntary muscles, on the other hand, you have to make a decision. You don't always know you're making it, but you have to decide, I'm going to walk to the bathroom. So that's a voluntary decision. I get up, my muscles start to move, as opposed to my lungs, which the muscles controlling my lungs are breathing for me without me thinking. So voluntary means you have to think about it or make the decision to do it. And then white blood cells are cells in your blood that fight infection. If your body becomes infected, you get a fever, you will have a white count that is higher than normal. So white cells are blood cells that fight infection. And while we were on that, I wanted to just give you an idea of what blood is made of and also the proportions of that blood. So the image source is vector stock, and your blood has 4 parts. You have plasma, white blood cells, platelets, and red blood cells. So the plasma is this yellow part in the vial. The white blood cells are the blue, excuse me, the platelets are the green, and the red blood cells are the red part. So let's zoom in here and look at what all of this says. This is not the easiest to read, so I'll try to read it for you. Plasma constitutes between 52 and 62% of something blood. I can't read that word, sorry. It is a straw-colored liquid in which blood cells, proteins, and other substances are suspended and transported. This word is whole. 62% of whole blood. White blood cells, which are also called leukocytes, constitute less than 1% of whole blood. These attack and destroy potentially harmful foreign matter. So if the test said, what is another name for white blood cells? You would say leukocytes. Platelets, which are also called thrombocytes, constitute less than 1% of whole blood. These form clots, doing something from existing wounds, blocking blood from existing wounds. Anytime you see thrombo, think of a blood clot. Generally, this is not a good thing. This is a morpheme, guys, we need to add. Throm is a clot. So heart attacks are caused by thrombosis, a thrombosis. They're blood clots that occur and cause your vessels to block. Red blood cells, which are also called erythrocytes, constitute between 39 and 49% of whole blood. These cells keep tissue alive by bringing oxygen to it and taking carbon dioxide away. If you're familiar with the heart cycle, that will make a lot of sense. So if it were to ask you on the test to name the 4 parts of blood, you would say plasma, white blood cells, platelets, and red blood cells. Just giving you some background knowledge here. Let's add thromb to our list of morphemes, and we will be finished with this lesson. Thromb is clot. So if you go to the doctor with pain and they are looking for thrombosis, they are looking for blood clots. Okay, I will see you in the next video for some health terms.